Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Hillman here. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm gonna say a few things about myself in a bit. For those of you who are returning subscribers, thank you for always returning. I really do appreciate your love and support. I'm back with another video, guys, and this video is gonna be great because it's the summer now. So the academic year just ended and the new academic year is starting, and a lot of you who are subscribers already reached out to me with questions, curiosities about the medical school application process and stuff like that. And I've seen some of you go through the whole application process, the stress that comes with it, and finally some of you made it through and are going to be starting next year, right? So this video is basically gonna be me advising you guys, because I'm a fifth year medical student now, and there's a lot of things I would have wanted to know back then when I started medical school 5 years ago. So this is basically an advice video to my 19-year-old self starting medical school 5 years ago. Wow, guys, it's been 5 years. I'm in the fifth year of medical school, almost completing. But anyways, I think it's crazy sometimes when I think about it. But basically, I'm going to be trying to share from my wealth of experience and all the knowledge I've gathered over the past few years, to hopefully give you something you can take take along with you starting this new journey, because it is an interesting journey, and I think with the right tools you can make the most of it. But if you don't know what to expect, if you don't have anything you can work with, then it can be really challenging sometimes. So a little bit about myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a fifth year medical student in Maastricht University in the Netherlands. Originally Cameroonian, moved to the Netherlands in 2016, and I started medical school in 2017. So I started in Dutch. Dutch. I learned Dutch a few months before I started medicine to study in Dutch. So English is my mother language. I grew up in Cameroon, though we spoke English and a couple of other languages, but I'm mostly an English speaker. Throughout my study, I've been in the basketball club. I've been part of the honors program, the honors plus program. I've been the president of the honors student association, and I've held other functions in that board as well. I've also been the president of the African Caribbean Maastricht University Society, ACMAS, and I've worked and I've done a lot of extracurriculars on the side. So I think this also just gives you a picture of the different things I've done. I've done most of what is doable, right? So I think it's from this wealth of knowledge and experience that I'm going to, be pouring from during this video. So I think without talking too much, let's just get right into it. And the first piece of advice I would like to give my 19-year-old self is to learn, right? Because as a doctor, the learning really never stops. And if you can early enough get the right techniques and the right tools you need to be able to learn effectively, that can take you a long way, because you're going to be learning for a long time, and you might as well just get the tips and tricks you need to be able to properly learn every time you need to acquire knowledge, right? And I'm talking about problem solution skills. The skills which, no matter where you find yourself in life, no matter what specialization you get into, no matter what career you get into, problem solution skills are really important. You need to be able to identify problems and be able to come up with solutions for them from the wealth of knowledge you have and experiences you have as well. So I think that's something which I know for a fact I only realized the importance of later. Problem solution and just learning how to learn, figuring out what learning style works for you best and stuff like that, not copying, but actually trying to navigate and discover, because it's a discovery process most of the time. Not all of us know what works best for us. So I think in the beginning, early enough, try to discover what works best for you, figure out what you're learning, your best learning strategy is, and try as much as possible to develop your problem solution skills, because those will take you far, especially in Maastricht University, where we have the PBL system. It just 1 + 1 is 2. But that's the first advice I'll give to my 19-year-old self. Learn to learn. I don't know if I figured that out yet at this point in time, but it's still a learning process. But yeah, that's the first one. Second one is years fly by fast, right? The bachelor came and went like it was nothing. I'm in my fifth year, almost completing. I have one year and a few months left. I did not imagine it would go by that fast, guys. I did not imagine. So the years pass by fast. Make friends, make genuine friends while you can, because these friends are going to really carry you through tough times. And they're going to be tough times, because I think the first one I told you how to learn, it can really help you make medical school less taxing as compared to if you don't have a proper learning strategy, right? And I think another thing that really helps make the workload of medical school feel less is having people around you who make the journey and the experience fun. Having genuine friends who would tell you when you're wrong, who would correct you, who would help you understand stuff, help carry you up, help take you to the library to study when you're feeling down, help motivate you to do stuff, help correct you when you go wrong, help tell you your bullshit to your face. I think those friends are really essential because they will carry you on for the rest of the long medical journey you have ahead of you. Because for some people, it might be long. If you're a surgeon, you're going to do that for like at least 10 years. So it takes a while. And I think having great friends, having friends who really understand you, and who have seen your journey and whom you've journeyed with together, that can really go a long way. And also make the most of your time, right? Just maximize your time. Do what you feel passionate about, but avoid the rat race. Do what you're passionate about and try to make the most of the time. Join boards if that's something you're passionate about. Discover yourself more. Learn what you like. Engage in that as much as possible. But do not get in the rat race. And the reason I say this is because I was in the rat race. I was trying to do everything just for my CV. I was trying to get involved with all kinds of courses and extracurriculars just for my CV. And I think sometimes it might be necessary to do some of these things, but a lot of the times it's just trying to go with the current and just make sure that you're doing what you think you're supposed to be doing rather than what you really want to do. And I think my advice to my 19-year-old self would be, with regards to this and the rat race and make use of the time, let your passion lead you. What are you passionate about? What do you like to do? What else do you, what makes you tickle? What tickles your fancy? What is something that you wake up and you're excited to do? These things are things which you should engage more with in medical school, because I think that's how you distinguish yourself from the rest. And I feel like we need doctors who are good people, who are solid people before they're doctors, and not people who just make medicine their whole life. Nothing bad in that, but I would just advise my 19-year-old self to go about it the other way. Let passion lead you, and always try to do what you're passionate about and what motivates you the most. Third thing, and this is really important, third piece of advice I would give is to own your ignorance. Own your ignorance and fan your curiosity, right? Because I know for me, I really struggled with imposter syndrome in the beginning. That was also partly because of the language barrier, but I really struggled with imposter syndrome, where I felt like if I had a question, I was the only one who didn't understand it, and I should just go home and just try to study more or prepare more for the next lecture and stuff like that. And that kept happening over and over again. And at a certain point, you just notice you fall back because you don't understand stuff. And then it's a cycle that seems to never end. And the funniest thing is, one thing I definitely came to realize over the years is you are not the only one who has not understood it. And the fact that no one else is asking the question doesn't mean they've all understood it, right? So if you have questions, if you do not understand something, own it. Ask questions. It's okay to be ignorant. Learn. Be true to your journey. Make sure that you paid a lot of tuition. Bluntly said, you pay a lot of tuition to be there, and you're there to learn. And as long as you feel like you need some extra information to learn and educate yourself, ask. You have the resources, you have the teachers, don't let other people or the thought of other people, what they're gonna think about you, derail your learning process. Because you paid to be there, and everyone paid to be there, and it's a decision to do whatever they want to do with your time. You have a choice to get the most out of your experience and out of your time you have there. And there's not that much time, to be honest. Make the most of it. Ask questions. Own your curiosity. Own your ignorance and fan your curiosity. That's the third piece of advice I'll give. Own your ignorance and fan your curiosity. The fourth thing, and this is specific to people who are maybe studying medicine in a language that's not their mother language, it's not that deep. Trust me, I know what it feels like. I came from Cameroon, where I was really good at articulating and making myself clear with words. And then I come to a setting all of a sudden where you're barely struggling to explain fundamentals or express fundamentals. You're basically struggling to express yourself, introduce yourself in a language. It's quite confronting, and I think it plays with your self-esteem. And that really, of course, is not a good place to be in when you're trying to study medicine, right? Because medicine in and of itself is taxing, and struggling with your self-esteem as well while doing that, it's just a whole lot. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with that, right? I'm in my 5th year now, I've survived. So of course it is possible to make it through as well. But one thing I'll definitely advise my 19-year-old self who was just starting this journey is it's not that deep. It's really not that deep for people. People don't care that much about you making 1 or 2 errors. Like some people will barely notice. I'm telling you, people are just too egocentric to care about your errors like that, unless it's really affecting them in a direct way, which most of the time is not, if we're being honest. So it's not that deep for people. Like, they don't really care about you making that many errors. As long as you have the knowledge, you're true to your own learning process, you're educating yourself as much as possible, you're really being hardworking. Don't let language and the fact that you cannot express stuff the way you would like to express it put you down and derail you from actually getting the most out of your time there. Because I think this is something that really put me down for a few years and got me constantly doubting self-esteem, imposter. Am I even supposed to be here? Do I just stop? Do I transfer? All those things were like, they really got me stuck for a while. And I noticed that got me like mentally in a very bad place. But I think it's just 19-year-old self, it's not that deep. First year medical student, if you're studying medicine in a language that's not your first language, you're allowed to make errors. It's not your language. Stop trying to prove to people that something is your first language when it's not. Stop trying to make something your mother tongue when it's not your mother tongue. It's just not gonna work out. You know, try to improve every day and get as good as you can in a language. That's what I try to do every day. But don't put unrealistic expectations in yourself, and don't think for people, because you're just setting yourself up for failure. So 4th piece of advice for those of you who are studying medicine in a language that's not your mother language or your native language, it's not that deep. You're allowed to make errors. That's fine. Okay, 5th, last but not the least point, have fun. And that's something I did. So my advice now to my 19-year-old self, or to first year medical students, is to do that. To my 19-year-old self, make sure you keep doing that, because it is working without playing makes Jack a dull boy. Have fun. Develop yourself as an all-round person. Discover what you're passionate about. Make sure that you're working on yourself, and you're not just working on the academic part, but you're actually working on yourself, developing yourself as a human being. I think we need more good people who become doctors. Develop yourself all around. Discover who you are. Discover what you like doing. The earlier you do that, that's the more you can also distinguish yourself from the rest. And I think ultimately we need doctors because all of you who are in that class who are starting that year are going to get the same medical training, and you're all going to be medical doctors. What differentiates you from the others? That is who you are as a person, because you have to be a person. You are a person before you become a doctor, and whoever that person is also going to be part of the doctor you're going to become. So I think it's just really worth it to already early enough discover who you are, what your passions are, what you like doing. Have fun in the process, guys. 19-year-old Hillman, first year medical students, have fun in the process. It's supposed to be a fun process. It's not supposed to be depressing. I'm not of the opinion that medical school should just be like this 4 years, 5 years, 6 years of just a cloudy lifestyle, like nothing. No, that's depression. That's literally the criteria for depression. If it's all just gloomy and you have to just struggle your way through, that's not how it's supposed to be. At least that's how I think about it. It's supposed to be fun. So have fun in the process and make the most of it. So that's been it, guys, for this video. 5 pieces of advice I have for my 19-year-old self or first year medical students who is just starting off. Enjoy the journey. It seems like a long journey. It seems like a long way ahead, a long road ahead, but it's great. It's fun, and you're gonna enjoy it. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share this video with someone who might be studying medical school, who you want to hear this video, or who you want to hear some of the things in this video. But until next time, guys, hope you all stay blessed. Peace.